Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, wake up in the morning to the clear blue sky. Turn up the music when I hop in the ride. The windows down, let the whole world see. Ain't nobody rock it like little old me. I'm the bomb and about to blow up. I'm the bomb and about to blow up.
Good morning. We want to welcome you to the Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions and messages can be raw, real, and at times very uncomfortable and even controversial. We highly encourage all of our guests and listeners to take notes, leave comments, and when possible, always share what you hear. Now here are your hosts, Pastor Solo and Pastor Mia.
Good morning. It's Wednesday. That means another podcast. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
I got a new guest. It's me and the guest. It's Ashh Bash Cash.
Oh, yeah. All kinds of names.
Yeah, that's okay. So state your full name and your date of birth. No, I'm just kidding.
My social security card, too.
Hey, I'll take that. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the podcast. Yay.
So excited to be here.
Yay. So I have a really good topic for us today.
Okay.
So I have been thinking about something that just kind of came up in conversation, and I think you might shed some light on it. And I know you've said before that you don't really know what you're called to do or what your what was it? It was not like your craft, but what is your what you're good at? I think. Is that what you said before?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to talk about creativity.
Okay.
Let's talk about creativity.
That's a good topic.
I know, right? So I was just talking the other day, and I was talking to somebody about creativity, and I always think of you because you have a business that is kind of docile, but it's there when you want it to be. It's your fallback. Is that what we can say?
Yeah, perfect example.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. So
fallback.
Tell us about your fallback. What you would call it? Are you going to call it your business? Are you going to call it a name? Put a name on it.
I would say it's just a hobby. My mom, she's very, very creative. So she used to make mums for me and my sister all the time. And then I was just like one year, hey, I think, I should make mums too, because my mom was good at it. And I always watched her.
Your mom was good at it? She made mums and she was a good mom.
Yep. So I guess that's where it first started, like about 5 years ago. And then I started making like door wreaths and then invitations and party decor, and it just like grew from there.
Nice.
But I really suck at like maintaining things, so it's kind of a hobby.
Okay, so let me say this first of all. No, you don't suck at maintaining things. You're a mom.
Yeah.
So you have kids, you have life, you have a job, you have all those things. It's really hard to have a business on the side and still have a job. It's kind of like pastoring. We can be bivocational or we can be full-time pastoring.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to do both. You just can't give 100% to either. And it's kind of hard to give 100% to more than one kid when you have more than one kid.
Yeah.
And then if you have a husband, that's a kid.
Yeah.
And then if you have a business, that's a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have a job, and that's definitely a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, so you kind of have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids.
Yeah, so many.
So really, it's too hard to have a business.
Hard to.
But I was just going to say, the other day we were talking about it, and we were just saying that my husband had said before that you are creative if the creator lives inside you. And so I was just telling somebody the other day, I was just like, yeah, man, your wife is so creative, or just creativity in that. And it just made me think of you. I always think of you when I think of piñatas, when I think of, baby gifts, again, door wreaths. If somebody says door wreath, oh, I can give you my daughter-in-law's number, type thing.
Yeah.
And immediately I always think of that. And so I was just thinking about the piñatas that your sister does, and trying to do one. And I was like, dear God, how did they do this, type thing. And then somebody said, you're pretty creative too. I said, well, yeah, the creator lives inside me. And they were always like, how did you come up with all those crafts for children's ministry
I was just thinking that.
for 16 years? That was just God. I'd be like,
Yes.
God, dude, here's the topic. Lord, I'm going to need a craft, and it's going to have to be easy, and it's going to have to happen ASAP. And then,
Yeah.
boom, he downloaded into me immediately how to do it, the quickest way to do it, the cheapest way to do it, and how to get it. Because I had no budget. I
Yeah.
mean, it was very little budget, but, type thing. And I'm sure that's what we're running off of anyway. Everybody we're always trying to look for sales so we can make things, make some money. But I remember one time, Pastor Cello gave us all a challenge, and he said, I'm going to give y'all $10, and I want y'all to flip it and make it into 20. Were you a part of that challenge? Do you remember that?
No,
Man, it was the
I think
bomb.
that was before me.
So we all went to the Dollar Tree and bought Dollar Tree items, turned around and sold each one of them for either 5 or 10 or,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was our camp money. That was
Yeah.
our deposit. And we're just like, man, this rocked. So from there, I learned some steps on how to be creative about raising funds. It's really funny because I'm like you. I don't have one thing. I have several, but I get sidetracked and I'm like, squirrel. And then and I always think about that because I'm just like, something sparkly's over there, something
Yeah.
sparkly's over there. And I can make salsa, I can do balloon animals, I can, sign language, some, and I can face paint, just a little bit. And I love to teach people how to drive, except for my kids. They didn't want to learn by me. That's why they don't drive well. We didn't say that here. Anyway. But just saying there's a lot of things we can do. And I think if the creator lives inside you, I think that you can pick up on, like you said, your mom. You saw your mom doing it. That made you inspired to do it. And I think that the creator can download things inside you. I mean, tell me what it was like before you had your Cricut. Before you did, but when you did everything by hand and hot glue.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible. Everything was like jagged, like not straight. Yeah, like a Cricut. Oh my God, everybody should invest in a Cricut. It's
I know.
amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We pledge allegiance to the Cricut. No, I'm just kidding. Cricut Nation.
yes.
I would just say, explain a little bit to everybody how you finally just decided that's a hobby and not my business. I'm going to put it down or I'm going to do it. Did you have, is that something that you mentally thought about and you were like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just no good at it. Or, at a point where you were ready to give up, where's that line at? The giving up line, whereas I should pursue it line.
Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of different things. Like there's someone that I follow on Instagram and she literally makes everything. So like I want it to be like her, and then I started seeing people who were making all of the same things. So that was kind of discouraging too, because I was like, dang, like what sets me apart from everybody else? Because we're doing all of the same things.
Yeah.
And then I guess it was kind of when I went back to work. Like I was doing a lot of crafts and stuff like after I had Miles. But once I got back to work, I was working like full-time hours. So I guess that was kind of my breaking point. It was like either do I continue to give like 70% at my job and 30% on my crafts or just, like give it up altogether. So that's kind of what I did.
So you gave it up altogether?
Well... I make stuff for like me and like Sonny's party's coming up, so like I'm making everything for his party. It's just like I guess kind of I pick and choose what I want to do, but I'm not taking like orders or anything.
Which is why it's your hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you had to pick one thing and somebody said, "Hey Ash, here's $20,000, $10,000. Let's just shoot real low, $5,000."
Yeah,
and they
like,
said,
that's a lot.
"Here's $5,000, and we want you to help you upstart your business."
Yeah.
What would you do?
Wow, there's so many things. I guess I would really just write down all the things that I feel like I'm most comfortable with.
Okay.
Because I make so many different things, I would want to shoot and aim at just one specific thing. Because I used to make shirts, and honestly, y'all, I suck at it. Like,
It's crooked. It don't fit,
yeah, like that was something I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. But if I'm not good at it, I'm gonna put it aside. Like I know I'm really good at like making imitations and just party items and also mums. So that's what I would mostly focus on.
Which is what you started with, if I'm not mistaken. You started with mums. Now
Yeah.
that you said that.
Started with
I remember
mums,
you
yeah.
making them. Jeez.
Yeah.
That was so long ago. That was pre-Sunny.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, because I remember Sonny laughing. I remember pulling the duct tape. And he was laughing. Yeah, I would just say that, I think a lot of the times we battle mentally as to whether we're creative enough or or are we even good at it? Am I, like you said, 100% at this, or am I 70%? Am I giving it my all, or am I more confident in this one as in not this one?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because one of the other things I do, you made me think about it when you said you started off, you were jagged. I can sew, but I tell everybody when they're like, "Hey, can you sew this?" I'm like, "Listen, I can Frankenstein that mug, but that's as good as you're gonna get,
Yeah.
But it'll work.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be Frankenstein, all these pieces and parts together." But I think as far as the creativity aspect, I think I think we're kind of the same in this aspect. We beat ourselves up if it doesn't come out. We're perfectionists. And I think that, we have to remember that we're just human and we're just doing a hobby.
Yeah.
We're not trying out there to make big bucks. And
Yeah,
don't get
exactly.
me wrong. I know we would love the big bucks, but at the same times, we're just trying to, as Pastor Solo always says, I'd rather pay somebody to cut my to cut my yard than me be out there sweating.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're out there, trying to do something because somebody else doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Type thing. I don't know. If somebody were to say, "Okay, Ashley, I hear you're part of the Cricket Nation, and I want to do shirts, and I want to do this. Tell us," what would you say to them?
I would recommend or send them to somebody who is really good at shirts.
So a T-shirt printer rather than a Cricut designer. Don't get mad at us Cricut designers. We're just saying. I got my own Cricut. I hadn't even started yet. I'm a part of the Cricut Nation. I'm not downing anybody. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there.
I know people who are really good at
And don't be stealing my T-shirt design. It's Cricut Nation. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, like a lot of people who use Cricuts, and they're actually really good at making T-shirts.
Yeah.
It's just, it comes with a lot of parts and a lot of layering, and it's just, I don't want to spend that much time on doing something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would
just want quick, fast, in a hurry. Quick money?
Yeah, I guess
Quick
so.
money, or that's the thing. Quick money or creativity because you like creating.
I would say creativity always trumps over my prices, because people always tell me that I should go up on my prices, and it's just about going after the right clientele. I think that's why I kind of make my prices lower, because I'm not always trying to.
So you're like me. You like to help the little guy.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I get in trouble all the time for my salsa prices not being high.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of us, actually. My aunt's the same way. She makes peanut brittle, the best
Oh
peanut
my
brittle
gosh, yes.
ever. And she was so cheap for so long. And finally, my husband talked both of us into raising our prices just as well as he's doing you as well,
Yes.
And we're worth more than that. And I think we don't see the worth in ourselves. I think
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
So we accidentally lost power, so we're starting. Just to finish what we were saying. Sorry, not starting. Finish what we were saying. But I was asking you, what was the one thing and takeaway that you would tell somebody if they were wanting to start crafting or start being a part of the Cricut Nation? I think that's how.
Yeah. I would say look up on Pinterest, like simple things that you want to start out with making, and then always go to YouTube. They literally have a tutorial for any and everything you want to do. And also have friends that are going to build you up and just encourage you and not down you. Because if you have friends that are like, oh, that sucks, or oh, maybe you should tweak this, or maybe you should do that, you get very discouraged very easily.
Yeah.
And you'll probably end up giving up.
Yeah.
Like the first week you do it. And you're going to mess up a ton of times, but keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah. And I would say it's 2019, bro. Y'all have YouTube videos. We didn't have that when I started, and I really had to reach into my brain and be like, Jesus, you got to put something in there because I can't come up with nothing, and there ain't no YouTube video to watch somebody, nor the internet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that old. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I'm
Yes,
glad
thanks for
that
having
you came and used your creativity to explain to us about all that. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know anything about wreaths and decorating. I hate decorating.
I love decorating. Love it.
Anyway, I do need some vinyl stickers, so you're going to have to teach me a few things.
Yes.
All right. And thank you guys for joining us. Hope you come back again.
Yeah. See you next time. Bye.
The bomb and about to blow up. I'm the bomb and I'm about to blow up.
Thank you for listening to the Riverside Weekly. Download the Riverside Waco app to stay connected and follow us on all social media sites at the Riverside Waco. This podcast is made possible by the givers of Riverside Community Church. Production and engineering provided by Capital G and DRS in Waco, Texas.